Good habits really do make for good students. Think about this. What if instead of putting off that work until right before test time or right before it's due, you just pulled it out as soon as it was assigned and did the work? Instead of wasting time walking around campus talking to friends between classes, you actually got out that work and did your homework. Instead of waiting until the week before the test to start studying, you actually studied every single day. Think how many of your problems as a student would be solved just by having those good habits of taking care of stuff right then. Good habits do make good students. Here's a story to illustrate the point. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who had an old donkey on his land, and that donkey fell down an old abandoned well one day. The farmer heard this donkey down at the bottom of the well, neighing and squealing for help, and he went and looked down there, and in a fit of concern, he ran to his barn, and he got some ropes and heavy cables to go get the donkey out. But then he started thinking to himself, you know what? I really don't need this donkey. He just cost me money and food, and he's not really useful anymore. He's too old to do any work around the farm. So maybe the best solution is just to bury the donkey at the bottom of the well. That'd get rid of the donkey, and it'd fill in that dangerous abandoned well. So instead of grabbing the ropes, he picked up a shovel, and he went over to the well, and he started shoveling dirt in, and that donkey screamed and moaned and brayed and cried as the farmer shoveled more and more dirt on top of him. But after a couple of minutes, the donkey wasn't making any sound. And this puzzled the farmer because he knew he hadn't shoveled enough dirt in there to cover the donkey up yet. So he looked down at the bottom of the well, and the donkey was looking back up at him. The donkey seemed fine, didn't have any dirt on him at all. The farmer tossed a couple more shovel loads down and watched what happened. The donkey would shake the dirt off his back and step up on top of it. And every time the farmer poured more dirt down the well, the donkey would shake it up and step on top of it, until eventually the donkey was able to step right out of the top of the well on all that dirt piled up underneath him. That is exactly how we should be about our schoolwork. If we just take care of it every day as is assigned, it's little shovel loads. It's easy to shake off. But if you wait until that dirt gets up to your knees, it's going to be hard to dig yourself out. If you wait until it gets up to your belly, you may not be able to dig yourself out at all. Shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. That's what you need to do every day. Consider the beginning of the semester, or the beginning of your college career, or your graduate school career, is a clean slate. You have an opportunity right then to develop habits that will make your life easy and will help you to get the best grades possible. The beginning of that semester or grad school career, think of it as a plot of ground that's prepared. It's ready to be planted. There's nothing growing on it at all. It's ready for you to plant good seeds and start growing fantastic fruits from it that will support you for many years to come. But if you leave that plot of ground alone for a couple of weeks, weeds will naturally start to grow up. Habits, bad habits, are those weeds. They're what naturally crops up when you don't take any other action. If you wait too long, the weeds get bigger and bigger and eventually turn into bushes, and the bushes turn into trees until you are completely covered. And it's going to take you forever to get rid of those bad habits. So at the beginning of the semester, start off by taking care of that ground. Already, though, you probably have a couple of weeds. So the first thing to do is actually get rid of some of those bad habits. Pull the weeds up. We're going to do that with a three-step process. First of all, we'll identify those bad habits. Second of all, we'll count the cost of those bad habits and really take into our hearts what it means, what those things are costing us. And thirdly, we'll identify the habits. That is, we'll figure out, when does this thing crop up? When is this getting a hold of me? If we know where it lives and when it occurs, we can better get rid of it. Let's look at the first one of those right now. Identifying the bad habit. In order to do that, take out a piece of paper right now and take about 5 minutes. You might want to set a timer there and scribble down as many of your bad habits as you can right now. Just brainstorm. Put everything down. Here's some to get you started. Cramming, skipping class, procrastination, not focusing during class. Those are all bad habits that my students complain of on a regular basis. Identify every single one. If you can get 20 or 30 down, more power to you. We're going to go back and actually pick some of those to begin working on. But the first step, the most important step, is to actually identify those bad habits so you can take care of them. By the way, that donkey later came back and bit the crap out of the farmer who had tried to bury him. The gash from the bite got infected, and the farmer eventually died in agony from septic shock. The moral of the story: when you do something wrong and try to cover your ass, it always comes back to bite you.